Hello everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. I just shouted winter right in her face because as I got all ready, I was a few minutes into taping and everything was going very smoothly and I was happy, and then she came and tried to knock the tripod over and it made me sad, so I yelled at her and then she ran away and hid. But a couple of you said, can you please come on air and dress up? So I thought I'd dress up like Gypsy Rose with a little bit of Dumbledore, which you'll see when I put my glasses on. It looks really good. So anyway, today we're going to do more of moving into April and some of the things that we can expect that we're really just pulling. And I feel like everybody has their own unique flavor and song and movements about them this month coming up, and they really are empowered because they're realizing they're not alone. None of us are alone. We're all connected in this really beautiful web, this tapestry of energy that we interconnect with one another and we help each other out with. Hold on, I'm just going to reach over here for a sec. Okay, I had to get my part of my deck that was over there. And that we can really have it together by just taking a deep breath, breathing in, going, I have all the time in the world. I can work with the energies around me. When I'm tired, I'm going to rest. When I feel really inspired, I'm going to go. Like, for instance, I had a lot of jewelry to package up this morning. There was a lot of orders. You guys really liked those intergalactic necklaces and fairy things. So I was working all alone because I do all my own packaging, all my own stuff. So I was working a little frantically, and then I was like, just listen to music and relax and listen to your favorite readers and have a good time and everything will be all right, right? We have to step away from taking ourselves so seriously and thinking that time is evaporating from us, because it's not. It's always available when we look for it and realize it's, cyclical, and it always comes back and there'll always be enough, and not to rush and have fun while you're doing what you deem as tasks, right? That was the thing. I was starting to say, oh, it's work. I have to work. And I kept saying that. And the fact that I was saying I have to made me stressed and work, but it's not. It's actually my vocation, my love, and my passion. So instead of saying I'm doing something that I love, I was saying I have to do my work. It didn't make sense. You know what I mean? So I was like, let's change our perspective here. You're doing what you love. So let's call it what it is. Friggin' awesome. Look at my Dumbledore glasses. So today's choice is going to be the solitary, dedication, self-love, and focus. And then the second choice is the maybon, shining hope and future. And right now I feel like a lot of you guys, you really are taking some time to yourselves to focus on what you need. Getting your hair and nails done if you want, getting a massage, do something that's really nice. I feel like a massage is the best thing in the world sometimes, because we tense our shoulders and our neck, and then we stop our flow of chi and our on my Instagram page, I'm consistently putting stuff up about our chakras and clearing them. And I wear a lot of stones and handle a lot of them. So my energy is cleared quite often. But people that don't, and they work in offices or confined areas, you can definitely have of problems in there. Things can get blocked, especially if you're suppressing anything, anxiety, it's a tight space. I could never work in an office just because of what it is. The confines of it make me crazy. So we're going to start with the solitary, and then number 2 is maybon. Feel free to watch both. They're only about 5 minutes, and they'll have some good messages. I really feel like I was listening to Cheryl Lee Harnish, and she is fantastic. And I was listening to her this morning, and I was like just so enlightened by her beautiful. She creates her own cards too, but just her beautiful way of looking at things. And she always reminds me to slow down and have some perspective. I mean, I take my work seriously and I deal with a lot of serious issues at times, but I'm all about cleansing and releasing. And so I think, shall you guys be as well, like you're realizing, listen, if we hang on to all this stuff and it can create anxiety and hardships, we really need to release that, right? And get in touch with what really matters, enjoying what we do and each other. Okay, so let's see. The solitary says, I'm going to put these old lady style so I can see what's going on. Within you go. With the solitary visits, you are about to go within, to withdraw, to retreat from the world for a time. This can be a response to an event in the outside, a trauma, a sadness, perhaps a betrayal. And when withdrawing inwards, which appears to be a depression, is actually a way of respecting the soul's shadow, investigating it, understanding it, and mastering it. This card indicates a time when we will go it alone, walk your own path, choosing to carve your way forward, and that you can be sure it remains true to the deep self. And we all go through this, right? I mean, for the longest time with fellow coworkers, I had to really watch my audience or who I was speaking to about what, because if I got into real deep spiritual issues, they think you're Captain Kangaroo. They seriously think you're on some kind of, like, people once, I remember going to work and they're like, are you on cocaine or drugs? You're always happy, you always have energy, and it's like your brain and your body goes faster than most people. And I'm like, I'm really fueled by everything, you know what I mean? We can tap into anything that creates magic and joy for us. And lots of times I'd be working in fun cafes, so it was the people, the food, the cool coffee, and it kept me energized. But I had to be careful verbally what I shared about my beliefs. And a lot of people feel like that too, you know, family members, other things. If we don't feel like people are going to respond the way a fellow tribes person or soul family would, we don't really need to share it. We don't. By going within, we learn more about our soul. It is not part of the journey that we necessarily look forward to, but it is a time of great development on the spiritual path, and it's an imperative to all our growth. Before we can shine our light into the world, we must ignite our own inner spark. Yeah, and lots of times it takes a while for that fire to catch because we're so busy with other things and they consume our time and our energy. So our focus isn't entirely allotted where it should be, which is our soul's expression of itself, right? Like the joy, like a child. If there's a mud puddle, a kid is going to dive bomb into that sucker, right? My son loves to dance and run around in the rain, and he's a teenager. And I remember doing that with them when they were kids. And then I don't know why I ever stopped, because I love to sing and dance and run around in the rain too, right? It's like magic. And we live right near a big beach, and one time it got flooded, and where there was normal beach, it was actually knee to waist deep water. And I remember dancing and singing around in it and just having the best time. So this card can indicate that a person has undergone a literal near-death experience. At times, I feel like some people that if you chose this could definitely be meant for you. I feel like some people too, they can go into a form of like sort of the deep interior of themselves, and they just feel like, how can I come back out into the 3D and really connect with some of these heavy individuals, these ego-driven maniacs, right? I have to go to the post office later. It's not as bad as DMV, but it's not my favorite place either. I have to go mail some packages. And there's anything about government building where there's red tape involved, where people are all of a sudden they decide they have to be impatient and crazy. So they start with that heavy sighing, you know, things like that. So I'm already getting ready for that. But this is definitely about an initiation of coming out and just being your true self, regardless. You're not trying to people please or make friends. You're just trying to be who you authentically are, right? So we're going to pull one of these starseed cards because I love these. I shuffled these earlier, and then I just held a place to save time for them. So this was a message meant for you. And funnily enough, it really goes nicely with that card, the strength card. And I love these starseed cards. They're oversized and beautiful. So it says Homo sapiens is considered the intellectual master of the earth biology, the highest form of consciousness of all the primates. Yet we still have not managed to learn to control the calm the savage beast within. It's a lesson Starseed has come to learn again and again to remember. How are we the beast and our own passion? And how are we the beast of our own passion, and from where do we truly glean our strength to dominate the jungle animal within us? Though the reason of our higher selves and unconditional love of the heart. And we all know that, right? Sometimes it's sort of that race to get in front of somebody, to appear stronger, to appear more attractive. It's that weird primal urge that sometimes comes back that is ego-based and hunter-gatherer based, right? So how are we the beast? Oh, wait a minute. The strength key speaks to us of the power and love of the impulsive animal self. It is embraced and soothed in the softness of the feminine yin spirit. Always prepared to strike, the tiger yields to the grace of the female form, and she is naked and vulnerable before the beast, but does not fear him. Oh yeah, she is naked. Check her out. She's like, go for it. And it's funny because you know those people that are innately just afraid of dogs and animals? I never understood that. Like, I never would not approach a dog, a horse, or some cool animal because I feel like they have their own energy and vibration as well. And I feel like I do have some crazy gypsy ancestry where we were definitely like animal whisperers. Animals behave pretty chill around me. But the animal, forceful self, and the loving, gentle self merges two aspects of the greater whole. The key teaches us that the inner strength is as much about gentility and grace that it is about force and fierceness, the vital and the even sexual animal response. This reminds me of something too. Like, think when you're at work and you're having a discussion with a coworker or a family member. Don't you realize, if you really think about it, how quickly it becomes competitive? Doesn't it? It's like if somebody's like, oh, I did this or that, you'll watch somebody else and they'll have to one up it, whether they were way sicker than the other person, or they ran much further than the other person, or they can lift way more weights. It really does go back to this animalistic, well, I can do this bigger, better, and the ego thing, instead of using that beautiful yin feminine energy that is just like, that's awesome. That's all you have to say, is recognize them. And I feel like that's a beautiful bit of power that you're stepping into, that you're recognizing. People just want to be heard and appreciated. It's as simple as that. And as soon as we recognize them, because that's the fundamental, people want to be seen and heard. Have you ever seen or felt dismissed? Say you go to a barista or something and you order something, they don't even look up at you. They just sort of call out whatever your order is. They never make eye contact. They just grab your card. It's very weird and mechanical. Like, that sets me off. That's why a lot of times I don't like to go out too often in a week, because of that autonomy. People go on, like, they go on robo type of thing, right? But the strength card is also about recognizing that and grabbing back the interconnectivity of us and saying, hey, I see you, I hear you, and you know, I recognize your achievements and what you do and how you try. And guess what? That comes right back around to us when we do that. It's such a beautiful feeling to make somebody feel that they've accomplished, because you know, that's what people strive to do. And unfortunately, a lot of times it ends up just being a checklist, like, oh yes, I've done this and that, and like a mass race to the finish line, as opposed to enjoying the beautiful journey and things like that, right? We have to remember to stop and recognize the beautiful people and flowers and the sky and the beaches along the way, right? So yeah, that's your energy you're going to step into. Just, hey, I can relax into life and have a good time and slow down. And April's going to be about that. When the flowers start to bloom and the sun is starting to get warmer, you're just going to awaken to that beautiful nurturing energy. And people are going to welcome your energy around, because it's going to be refined and restful, which is really beautiful, right? So that's you guys. If you're new to the channel, I'm just watching the cat. Whenever the camera shakes, she's up here. She's back usually in the laundry room, and then when I let her in here, she's so excited to be here, and she just causes havoc, but it is what it is. And I promise I'm going to get those kittens on camera for you guys. Yeah, it's been such a busy weekend, and weekends are always nuts. So yeah, so that's you guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and don't forget to press like and subscribe if you're new. And to my oldies, I love you guys. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate how you support and you know, lift me in this channel, in this endeavor, and it's miraculous. I mean, the channel's just growing and growing and growing. Your comments make me laugh and cry. I have so much fun with this, and it really is my vocation. I swear, even if nobody watched, I would make these videos and watch them myself, because sometimes when I'm channeling, the things that come out are direct from ancestors and spirit, and I don't necessarily hear it unless it comes out. And then when I rewatch it, I'm like, yeah. And a lot of times it's a lesson to myself as well, what comes out, and it's quite amazing. So now we're going to go on. Oh, also all my links are down below to all my private reads. I get to those within 24 or 48 hours. They take precedence. My Etsy store that has all my handmade jewelry. I love this. I made this Peruvian opal on a clear string, so it just sits right there. Like, I've been making some fun stuff. I love springtime. I love turquoise and white howlite and opals, and I've just been working with some really cool stones. So yeah, my Etsy store is down there. Everything you can imagine. Instantgo. If you'd like to help support the channel, my Patreon page information is down there too. And thank you, patrons. You guys are the best, and you know what? You're the coolest tribe out there. I swear, you're amazing. I'm going to instigate chat night for all us too, and I'll come on camera as well. I figured out some stuff. Ian had to teach me. He gets really busy in the spring, so that's why we don't have the intro music right now and stuff like that. So what we're going to do now is go on to the maybon. I love this so much. I love these cards. I'm going to use these so often. They're so beautiful. So this is about, make sure that's on camera because it's so beautiful. The maybon is the child of the darkest moment, born when bright hope beckons you to the positive future, born out of what had seemed to be the most hopeless space you have ever been within. This card indicates that you are now thinking magically. What you think you are manifests around you all the time. This is very true. There's nothing truer spoken. When you know you're strong enough, you can do it, you have the will, things are peaceful, you think that is what the energy and reality becomes around you, for sure. Like Albert Einstein says, when you see the world as a hostile, cruel environment, that's what you experience. When you see it as a thing of beauty, compassion, and evolution, that's what you experience, right? And it is true, because I've gotten in my car and anticipated hell week, and that's exactly what I get when I'm like, oh, I'm going to drive by the beach and have a good time, it's going to be great. That's what I experience, right? So this is definitely a reminder that when we allow ourselves to shine, we become who we were always meant to be, and by example, we encourage others to become who they truly are. You are a powerful role model for others. Keep up the wonderful work. And we can be a role model simply by being in a grocery store and having a young child see us act respectfully, act decently, act noble, be patient when we're paying for our things, help an elderly person, you know, just extolling any of the virtues, patience, honesty, all those things, right? So we're constantly setting an example, for sure. So the maybon is a child born at winter solstice. All that noise is winter, and I'm about to launch her. So this card indicates a rebirth of positive light and energy after a time of lack. And I feel like that after winter, right? When the spring comes in, we start to feel invigorated and renewed. The sun is coming, the warmth, and oh, how good the weight lifting off from your old self feels. It is, right? We shed 1 million skins a year, thousands a day, right? I'm going to make sure she doesn't knock this over. Absolutely. We decide what we want to keep and what we want to discard. And how about we discard all the things that no longer serve us? And I feel like that's part of the renewal process that's coming in for everybody. We're deciding, listen, I have A, B, and C, but do I really need that? This friendship I've had for decades, has it been a burden? Have I always been the giver in it? Things of that nature, okay? And you got the Alchemy card. And I love when we decide we want to grow. The comfort lane and zone is all well and good for a time, but we don't really grow in that, right? And then our subconscious just takes over and we follow patterns. And when we follow patterns, we get the same results, right? So we want new results. We want brighter, clearer, more refined and simplistic outlooks on things, right? Simplifying is a great thing to do in spring. So one starseed has experienced and understood the true significance of transition from one state of being to another. She explodes the alchemical process into transmutation, whereby elements are combined to create new forms. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I feel like any form of change changes our perspective, gives us a shift, allows us to say, hey, if I just removed, 1, 2, 3 from this week because it's not necessary. It's always just been there. I don't know why. I don't know why I think I have to jam in this extra session to meet this person or go there or do that. If it creates stress, you can just remove it, right? Lighten your load. And that's sort of what alchemy is about, changing the formula to stuff that works. The alchemy key employs the magical process of glass blowing, whereby the 4 primary earth elements of air, the breath of the glass blower, water dripped from above, the cool of the glass, fire melting the glass, the earth that silicates that melted form glass, are combined to create the new form, a beautiful blown glass sphere. Let us not forget that the consciousness of the artist, the focused intent, the primal ingredient, or the impetus is the process of transmutation. So this basically says, what elements can I bring together to create a new perspective? How do I balance various aspects and bring harmony into my life? Because I feel like if you chose this, a lot of people in the group, they feel overburdened. They feel a little overcluttered. They feel like there's just a little too much going on, right? That they need to release something and allow. And also by creating that void, it allows space for new things to come in as well. So do I have patience to keep working until I find the solution? What is my vision and what am I trying to create? This is really an element of import right now for a lot of you guys. I feel that you are certainly like on the precipice of understanding something that, who cares how busy we are? We don't want to be so busy, right? We want to be effective. We want to have restful moments and restful states. I love when people are like, what did you do this weekend? I haven't been able to say this in a while, but I love when I'm like, oh man, I didn't do anything, but I like watch Netflix and drink coffee and play with my animals. That's like a dream weekend, and we all need that. We need to give ourselves permission to step back, relax, and stop trying to be so busy, because who really cares? Doesn't it almost aggravate when you ask somebody and they give you a friggin' leaderboard of achievements, and it's not like we're going, yay, that's terrific, that's amazing. Inside we're going, you should calm down, man, you're gonna have a heart attack. You know it. How does that benefit anybody by standing around going, well, I did A, B, C, D? Who are you trying to impress? I mean, you know what I mean? Let's just live our lives and do our things and say, I took a great walk on the beach and I read a book. You know what I mean? People think that other people are impressed by some huge diatribe of accomplishments, but they're not really, because it brings out their ego, their competitiveness, and it really does nothing. So you're exhausting yourself by these checklists, but the thing is, it's our subconscious, it's our patterns. Achieve, 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 achieve. We started school, we have lots of homework, we did all our homework, check, check, check. We have sports, we have this, we have that, we have family, we've got a grocery shop, check, check, check. You know what I mean? It's like, just breathe, work into ease. That's why I remember when I was 30, I was excited because I was getting closer to 70, where I thought I could just sit in a rocking chair and read. I'm serious. I'm like, oh, I can read books. I loved seeing pictures of elderly people just lighting candles, sipping tea, and reading books on their porch. Like it was my dream when I was 30. And so whenever I can have that still time to absorb the beauty of what's around, I'm going to reach out for that, right? We're going to reach for the calm. We're going to reach for the peace of mind. We're going to reach for, you know, the steady mood, the steady nerves, no anxiety, no push, no harshness. And that's it. Alchemy is creating the magic mixture that works for you. And you're going to be finding it over the next few weeks. You just really are. You're going to be like, okay, Control-Alt-Delete this, because that's no longer necessary. I don't have to run and go crazy through hell or high water to accomplish this if it doesn't serve my higher purpose. If it doesn't come from Hail 2, honesty, authenticity, integrity, and love, I don't need to participate. Somebody's gossiping and it's draining, and that's what I feel like what sometimes happens in the corporate world. In those worlds, people start talking, and in order to feel like they have to fit in, they join in on that, but it only creates strife and mistrust in a corporate unit or otherwise. So always disengage from that if you can. Yeah, and always be authentic. When somebody's speaking to you, stop and give them that moment, because to really hear somebody and give them your respect by your ear, your eye, and pausing for a moment, it makes all the difference to them as well, because we can all share beautiful energy on the right wavelength that helps heal and expand. And that's all about alchemy, and getting to that perspective that is like, oh yeah, wow, this is what it's all about. Just participating in life the way you want, using your skills to your advantage, jumping on opportunities when you feel like it. Just knowing that what's going on is going on around you, not to you. And if you want to participate, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. I knew that would happen. I even said before, I said the whole backdrop is going to go flying. But this is just a big screen TV. One time I had like a thing in the background, which I really liked, and I'm going to try it, but it has like a really cool effect that looks like water's washing over, so I'm going to try that. That's no big deal. I mean, she almost knocked over this like 15 times. So on that, I want to say to you guys, thank you for visiting my channel if you're new, and don't forget to press like and subscribe. And also all my links are down below if you need a private read. I get to those right away, because it is important that the energy is sort of ripe when people connect with me, so I do those right away. Also, all my links to my Etsy store, all my jewelry and everything for spring is in there. And hopefully my next video is going to have the kittens, and I have to organize it and have the girls handle them, because sometimes they just get up to dangerous business. They start climbing the curtains. They're like little Velcro critters, and they will kill us all. So they'll hopefully be in the next video. So love and light to you guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah.